Welcome to Nightlight. Step away from the mainstream and gather around as we enlighten the world and our realities and travel this cosmic journey we call life. Join us as we share with you and provide that beacon that can guide us all to a better way. Explore with us as we examine a metaphysical montage of spiritual insights, covering everything from the mundane to the magical, UFOs to unicorns, and everything in between. This is a time of awakening, of sharing and evolving, of spreading our wings and soaring on the cosmic breath of creation. Come and join with other light-minded spirits as we weave our lights together to seek understanding, enlightenment, and, with a little luck, some wisdom. This is Nightlight, a reminder that you are never alone. And now, here is your host, the lovely, delightful, insightful, and all-around great gal, Ms. Barbara DeLong.
I have Ken Quiethawk to thank for that lovely intro. He is an amazing native storyteller, and you can find him and his wife at nativestorytellers.com. So tonight is Michele Avanti again, and I am thrilled that she is with us because she brings amazing insight, wisdom, all sorts of enlightening material, and an education in astrology whenever she is here. And it never ceases to amaze me. I always have pen and pencil ready to make sure that I take notes when I am listening to her because she always has something magical to say. So welcome to the show, Michele.
Oh, thanks so much. I hope you're well. I hope everybody listening is strong and well and finding joy in the middle of all this chaos.
Well, yeah, and hopefully it will be over soon. I think the one thing that I really want to preface for everyone is that we all have a voice. And tomorrow is the time that you are given the ability to express your voice and put your 2 cents worth in and vote for whoever it is that you feel best represents you and your state and your idea of what this nation should be. And the only other part I want to put into that is if you choose not to exercise your right to have a voice in what makes our government, then you have no right to complain about it later. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, if you're young or if you're old, if you have never voted before, go get a provisional ballot. Go out and do it. We're one of the few countries in the world that allows women to actually vote. We're one of the few countries in the world that allows everyone in their nation to vote. Please.
Make your voice heard.
Yeah, it's an honor and a privilege, and our freedoms really do depend on who we choose.
Absolutely, and it's interesting. My grandfather was involved in getting the woman the vote in the early 1900s. It was kind of exciting that he was actually in on all of that.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing to think your grandfather was involved. I love that.
He was. He was a state senator, and he helped to move the women's rights part of the amendment forward, and happily for him that it went through, because I think, my grandmother would have tossed him out on his ear if he hadn't been, there to help us. Yeah, no, it's really a cool thing. There was a political cartoon in a newspaper, and he looked like Teddy Roosevelt, and he was a large man, and they have a cartoon of him sitting in the Senate in Massachusetts with Cupid shooting arrows at him because they had just gotten engaged when that was coming to pass. It was a really kind of cool thing.
Interesting story.
Yeah,
a long line of strong women too. That's a good statement.
Yes, indeed it is. So we've got people lined up already, which I'm sure you're not surprised at. So let's hop in and get as many of these people read as we can tonight. We've got Ann on the line. Ann, are you there? Hello, Ann. Hello, Ann. Are you there? Wow. Okay, I'm going to put her off, and we will come back once, and we will go to Stacy. Stacy. Hi, Stacy. You're on the air.
Oh, thank you both for taking my call so much. I had a temp job which just lasted 3 weeks, and
Stacy, we're doing astrological readings, so you're going to have to give us your birthday.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Like I said, the focus of when it's good for a next job, and I just want to know, like, this weekend's Veterans Weekend, and I'm going somewhere on Saturday, December 26th.
Yeah, Stacey, I can't do anything without your date of birth and your time of birth and your place of birth. Let's go there first.
Okay, December 26th, 67, 1967. I was born 6:18 a.m. or 6:18 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, and where?
Oceanside.
Oceanside,
New York,
Long Island,
not California. Yeah.
Which
it's on
one,
the
California?
South Shore. No, I wish. It's on the South
Long
Shore,
Island,
New York.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of ocean sides. I could have gone New Jersey. I could have kept going. There's a lot of them. So let's go take a look. So you're concerned about where's this job that you're waiting on? Is that what I understood from what you have?
Yeah,
already?
even if it's temporary, when things are going to pick up with work.
Yeah. So.
And also,
Go ahead.
Saturday I'm going to an outdoor event. I just want to know if I'll meet anyone.
Well, it's interesting. Your social falling in love energy and your career energy are both ruled by Venus. So we need to see activation of Venus or activation by Venus to manifest something. Jupiter has already passed Venus, so Jupiter cannot give you anything. Let's see here. Mars at this point in time is not helpful at all, but it's good that it's past being a challenge, so that softens some of this. And let's see who else. Venus, of course, in the sky is retrograde, and she's going to finally turn around on the 16th of November, and we're all looking forward to that. When she's retrograde, a lot of the time we have squabbles with people we love. We can't seem to be all on the same page, and that causes a lot of challenges. So, but she is also not really helpful either. So I don't have a lot of help for you at this time. Let's see here. Saturn does rule your house of income, and she's not a lot of help either. Your progressed Venus. 24 cap. So we've got Pluto getting closer to it, but it's still a ways off. There will be a major transformation of everything once Pluto gets on there, but we're looking at a few years away. Saturn itself will be on top of progressed Venus in another year and a half, and that could bring you some, as odd as it sounds, it will bring you more security in terms of your income. So your chance of having a job that's going to last a long time probably isn't going to happen till Saturn makes that action. So that's about a year and a half away, so it's a long time still. Let's see if there's anything here that can really give you something now. And I don't really see a lot. I see you working out some issues because Chiron right now is on your Mars, so it's actually calling you to examine how you apply your thought processes to the things that you want and how you sleep at night and the energy that you put out in terms of manifesting dreams. So you might want to really think about some of that. It could be challenging for you to think about it because sometimes what happens when you're looking at that, you can say, well, you know, if I'd only done this, or don't go down that road. Don't allow yourself to go down that road. Remember that every decision you made in your life, you've made because at that moment in time, that was where your state of consciousness was. It was the best you could do. So bless it and know that you're in a better place now and go forward from there. But there are things amidst the ashes of the past that we can pull out and as we look at them, realize that there is change that we can make in ourselves that allows us to have a better, more comfortable life. I don't have a tremendous amount of help from anybody right now in terms of giving you a job. It doesn't mean you won't find one. It doesn't mean that at all. But I don't have anything that's flashy on the chart that's saying we've got just the thing for you. I wish I did because I would certainly tell you about it. I'd give you timing. I will say this, that over these next few days, the challenges you have with sharing money with others, whether it's credit cards or not, be careful not to overspend because you may be challenged to spend more than you should. So stay away from that because that money will be important for you.
Do you see Saturday?
Anything happening this coming Saturday? Let me just go forward to Saturday. And Saturday is what, the 10th, isn't it?
10th.
Yeah, because Veterans Day is the 11th. And let me see, maybe there's something happening on that day that will be exciting for you. Because the moon, actually, when we have just social events, sometimes the moon can have a lot of power just there. And what we have, of course, Jupiter has gone into Sagittarius at that point. So it is possible that you could run into somebody that you haven't seen for several lifetimes and find someone interesting. That is possible. Doesn't look like... it looks like it could be a very fortunate connection from the looks of this. It could be something that makes you look at yourself again in a way that you hadn't for a long time, and that's a positive thing. But right now, there's just a lot of challenges going on. Just say a prayer and ask for guidance, and when you go out, more than anything, it looks like a South Node action is what's opening up for you. So someone from the past, an old connection, and I don't know that it'll be a past in this lifetime, but probably from a past lifetime. But, you know, we know people as soon as we see them from past lifetimes. It's not like it's a hard find. We automatically pick up on who they are. So go and have a good time.
So I may meet someone. Do you think I should go bring a friend or go by myself? Because most of my friends are kind of just fair weather friends. You know, I don't really have that close bond of a friendship with anyone.
Oh,
do you think I should go by myself?
Well, you're not going by yourself. Take all those beings who are around you with you, because they'll give you the guidance you need. But just go by yourself. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll see people there that you'll talk to, and that's the way it goes. And that also gives you the freedom to leave when you want to. So there are a lot of positive things going by yourself.
So you're saying that's going to be better than more. Yeah, but just the work, the temporary. Do you see anything coming in after this ends this week?
No, I don't see anything immediately in front of you. I wish I could say I do. I mean, we've got Mars is trying to give you some kind of help here. Yeah, but, you know, if you're not getting it as we speak, it's not going to be doing much once it gets past the next few days. So I just don't see it. I don't see it.
2019?
rather than opportunities at this moment in time.
No, but what about 2019?
Well, I haven't gone forward a year. I mean, it's going to be about a year and a half for you to get to that point where you finally connect with some kind of job that is going to give you what you're looking for in terms of security. And that will be around, actually November 10th, 2020 is around the time I've got a real exact connection, a little bit before that, probably around the end of October or mid-October of 2020. By then, you have something that will give you a more secure position. So till then, stick with this temporary, whatever temporaries you can get, because, you know, we all have to manage as we go through life. It's not an easy challenge.
Yeah, but it's been years.
Well, we have these sallow points in our charts, and no one is completely free of them. And there are some people who are born wealthy, and that's a different story. But most of us, you know, we go from paycheck to paycheck, and our faith that things will manifest. You know, as you look at your life, you have manifested throughout your life. Try doing some tapping and try opening up and let the universe start manifesting for you. I think we're all at a point in a state of consciousness where we can start to go beyond our charts. Don't let what the chart says control you. I don't want you to ever go down that road. I'd much rather you called next week and say, you know, you were just totally wrong. I got the best job in the world. Okay? I'd rather that happen any day of the week.
But probably never wrong. That's the thing. That's so scary.
Nobody is never wrong. But, you know, I've been doing this a long time, but that doesn't mean that Spirit doesn't have a doorway for you that I can't see. So let's keep our attention on that doorway, okay? In the meantime, I mean, a year and a half isn't that far away, but still, we have to work day to day. So keep your positive attitude and keep saying, I know things will manifest. I can tell you right now that I will keep you in my heart, and I will keep saying that for you. So join me in saying it. Doors are opening. Abundance is flowing. I am having experiences where I meet, greet, experience people that bring me everything I could possibly desire in my life. See it as happening, and don't be afraid to let other people contribute to your world. That's one of the biggest challenges we have, because when we're living through life and we're born in a family that works hard and struggles at times, we grow up with that kind of framework in our brain. It doesn't look like an easy framework. We have a hard time saying, yes, can you help me? We have a hard time doing that because we're the ones who have worked so hard, we help everyone else. But there are times in our lives where Spirit is teaching us that we're all one, that we're connected, and that it's someone else's turn to help. So keep yourself open to receive. And that's really the statement you need to say each morning when you open up your eyes and you breathe in through your heart center and say, today I am open to receive. I'm open to receive abundance in all its forms. It comes to me freely and legally and constantly and abundantly. And I love and appreciate who I am. If you'll wake up and say that every morning, you're opening up.
It just seems like there's so many retrogrades all the time, and I'm always affected.
Well, you know what? We only have one more Mercury retrograde this year, and it's over, and our Venus that's in retrograde is about to go direct. It goes direct the day that Merc goes ret, and Mercury then will go direct on December 6th. Neptune's getting ready to go direct on the 24th, and then we're in a really nice zone, so it's coming, okay? Stick with it, okay? It's our
hang in there, Stacey.
You know,
since like the end of 2013 till the end of 2020, that's 7 years. Oh my gosh.
That's typical of a Pluto transit, what you just described. Saturn transits and Pluto transits have 7-year pockets that can challenge us for quite a while. But then once they're over, we're a new person. We're a different person. We've changed. So let your change be one that greets the world with joy and optimism, despite what you've been through. You know how POWs get through lifetimes in those horrible experiences? by remembering where they're going, by keeping a vision. That's how they come out of it. That's what you have to practice whenever we're in a terrible transit, and we all have them. We all have them. Nobody is free and clear of them. For some people, for some people it's love, for some people it's money, for some people it's both, and for others it can be even worse because it can be health, where they simply lose the use of parts of their body. So just be grateful for everything you have. Gratitude is the greatest door opener there is. Whenever you start to get into a funk,
that's why when you said attitude, I kind of distanced myself from a friend that didn't feel, that felt more like a fair weather friend. She only called me. You understand? She didn't make me feel good. She was kind of like put me down when I'm not working and distance myself from her. And and I just kind of feel better without her. I'd rather have no friends than have friends that aren't sincere.
I agree with you. And what you need to do now is say to Spirit, I am open for the friend who will respect me, who will be honest with me, who will love me, who will cherish me, and who I can have all the same experiences with, so that we can have a friendship that is truly what the word friendship stands for.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and that one we have to move on.
All right,
Michele,
thank
we have
you
to
so
move
much.
on.
I appreciate it.
Take care, Stacy. We're all pulling for you, sweetie.
Oh.
Take care.
Okie doke. Let's try Ann again. Hi, Ann, are you there? Hello, Ann.
Maybe her phone doesn't work tonight.
Wow.
That's crazy, huh?
That is. So just to let everybody know, I give people 2 chances to actually be there, and then I hang up. Okay, so we move on. We have Kimberly on the line now. Kimberly?
Hi. How are you both?
Hi.
Good.
Great.
What's your date of birth, Kimberly?
It is November 5th, 1970 is actually today. And it was 7:05 p.m., Talladega, Alabama.
7:05 p.m., Talladega. Let's see if I can spell that right. I think I may have it. I always find it interesting when I can spell properly.
Does help, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, being an astrologer, I get to travel all over the world, so that's kind of a nice thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's No, I didn't quite get it. Okay, Talla or TA? Tell me if I'm wrong. Let's see here. I gotta go up. See if I can scroll this guy without. You don't know what I'm doing these days. I haven't told you. My eyesight's gotten so bad that Talladega. There it is. It's in Talladega County. I actually have to use one of those things that Sherlock Holmes used.
Oh, magnifying glass.
Yes, there we go. Trick question of the night. Yes, I'm using that in order to be able to see these charts because my eyesight has gotten so strange. But I'm doing good. Anyway, we have you up. So let's take a look and see what I see. What is it that you are wanting me to focus on?
I'm really focusing on higher education, and I think I'm leaning toward more psychology, but I'm also interested in the spiritual arts in a particular area also. So just higher education. Yeah,
that fits you very, very well. And I'll tell you what I'm seeing, okay? Mars, of course, is a fast-moving planet, but and it is in your 9th house, and that's the house of higher education, and it is getting ready to actually touch your North Node. The North Node, you have the ruler of this house is Aquarius, and Aquarius fits the 2 descriptions you just made. Aquarius is about logic, understanding. It's the scientist. It's the person who uses logic to come to an understanding of something. It can be higher education. It can be higher spiritual pursuits. So it can run a gamut. Mars is in this house. It's about to touch your North Node. The North Node is, what is my purpose in this lifetime? And you have the North Node in Aquarius in the 9th house. And if we just throw those two statements together in their interpretation, one would easily say that here is an individual who, as soul, said, my purpose in this lifetime will be to find, through some scientific measure, a way to interpret or understand the spiritual elements to this level of consciousness we're in, and to be able to help through that to unite peoples of the world. That would be the statement when you throw it all together. So Mars is getting ready to conjoin that North Node, saying it's time for you to put your energy into your purpose in this lifetime. What else do we have? Of course, Jupiter is a 29 degrees Scorpio, and it's about to move to 1 degree in 2 days of Sagittarius, and as it does, it will conjoin your Neptune, so in your 6th house. So it's saying that I am now opening up intuitively to education, to an education that will expand my horizons, expand my intuition, expand my knowledge, and as Jupiter continues to move, it will eventually make a lovely connection about almost a year away to that North Node. So whatever it is that you're going for, you're going to find that you are ready to feel like you have expanded, like you have achieved something a year from now. So I'd say definitely go for it. I don't think astrology can define better those 2 points, if that was what you were asking. I'm not sure what you might be asking, but you also have your moon located in the 9th house, and so there is a desire that's always been there since you were little to explore the world, explore how to unite the world, understand the spiritual concepts, what is beyond religion, what is spirituality, and where is the sense of it? And Aquarius is such a wonderful sign because it basically says, well, here are the clues. They're everywhere that I look. The logic of the universe are the clues. How do I put them all together to understand this? And you will certainly be pursuing that, and I think you will pursue it very successfully.
Okay.
Go for it. That's exciting. You have everything moving in the right direction there for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Well, you have a great night. And
all right, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Okie dokie. Let me see
That's
here.
Exciting.
Definitely. We've got Mary here. Hi, Mary. You're on the air.
Hello, ladies.
Hi. Your date of birth?
Thanks.
Yeah.
My date of birth.
Yes. Sorry, sometimes I'm on speed over here. I'm running as fast as I can.
Yeah. All right. Well, my date of birth is September 15th, 1971.
Okie dokie. And your time of birth?
7:10 p.m.
7:10 p.m. And place of birth?
Halfway across the world. I was born in Taipei, Taiwan.
Taipei. I wonder if I can put in Taiwan or if I have to put in China now. Well, let's go take a look. I was able to get away with Taipei. Nicely done.
All right. Hey.
Yeah, well, my program, I don't think they've updated the atlas yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably why I got away with that. But let's go take a look. And do you want me to focus on anything in particular?
Yes, my career, and I was just a friend of mine who I used to work with reached out to me recently, and she said that her boss left, and she asked me if I wanted to apply for this job. And she just spoke to her supervisor today, or I should say her boss's boss, and this person would like to meet me. So I'm wondering if I will get an offer from this place and if this job would be a better fit than where I'm working right now.
Well, I think you go for it. I'm not surprised you got this offer. You've got so much happening that is specific to what you've said. When I first opened it up, and as I was asking you, what do you want me to focus on, I immediately saw career. So
oh, really?
That's obvious it was. You have Pluto traversing your 10th house, so that, of course, is a slow-moving planet. But nonetheless, the fact that it's in your 10th house tells me that you have a transformation taking place over a period of time here in terms of your career. Saturn is moving to apply to your midheaven, and when we work hard in our lives to achieve things, when Saturn gets to that midheaven, we receive that diploma. So that's coming up. But more importantly, you have Jupiter in the sky is at 29 degrees, and it is in your 8th house. That's the house of shared resources, and it has just recently gone over your progressed Venus, which would be a friend that you might be sharing resources with, someone who has a connection to people in positions of power. And Jupiter going over it says that there is communication that comes in. And on top of that, of course, it is making what we call a sextile, which is a very positive aspect to your natal Pluto at 29 degrees of Virgo in your house of the workplace. And so that says to me there is an opportunity that will come of this contact with this individual with whom you share resources, most likely a female, that will empower you and allow you to further the resources that you want to have in your life. And then on top of that, we have progressed Pluto at 0 degrees of Libra, and your natal Jupiter and natal Neptune, both at 0 degrees of Sagittarius. And on the day after tomorrow, did I do that right? On the 10th. No, on the 8th, excuse me, the day after tomorrow. That's the 8th. On the 8th, Jupiter does enter Sagittarius, so it will be conjoined your natal Jupiter, your natal Neptune, and making a sextile to your progressed Pluto. It is empowerment at every level. It is highly intuitive. You will recognize that this is a direction that you want to go. It will expand your resources and expand your world and expand your opportunities. So I'd say absolutely go for it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm having lunch with my friend tomorrow, and she's going to clue me in on how to interview with her boss's boss.
I think you're going to do just fine. And you may end up having that interview on the day that Jupiter goes direct, or a day or so later, or whatever. But then once Jupiter hits the 5 degree to 6 degree mark, it will be making a beautiful trine to your moon. So the statement is that a doorway opens up that may expand your world, possibly expand your home in the long run, but that makes you emotionally feel satisfied and feel like you have taken another step in a leadership position. So looks very good to me. Go for it. Let us know how it goes.
Oh, will do. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So welcome. Take care now.
You take care.
Yes,
Bye now.
Bye.
Okay. We've got Donna on the line, too.
Hi.
Donna. You're on.
How are you? Hi, Bart.
Donna's here.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Donna, what is your date of birth?
Hi, Michelle. It's 4/22/54.
4 is April, isn't it? 4 is April. Last time I looked.
April. Yes.
4/22/1954. Did you say?
Yes.
Okay, year of the horse, 1954. And time of birth?
2:20 p.m. in Flushing, Long Island.
place of the Old World's Fair.
Oh.
Yes, that was before you. Well, no, it was in your time frame. You should have seen it. Yeah, I would think you would have seen it.
I moved out to California when I was 3.
Oh.
Yes, I don't know too much. Yeah.
You missed it.
Yeah.
I was there. I saw the kitchen of the future. It was fascinating. It looked like the Jetsons, pretty much like
wow.
now today. Anyway, what do you want me to focus on? I've got your chart up.
Well, I was meditating the other day, which I do every morning for 40 minutes, and I just observed the message that came in. It was my intuition, and it said, it's coming soon. And I have been praying to meet a guy, and also for abundance to come in so I can travel, because I love traveling to foreign countries, but I don't have the money now.
So, where is the man, or the person? I shouldn't say man in this day and age. I have to stop being so old-fashioned. But
yes, you do.
That's the man I'm looking for.
Well, I'm open to whatever. I don't care, I'm okay with whatever anyone does. But as long as they're not hurting anybody, I'm good. So looking at your chart, Neptune is now in that 7th house. So there is a certain state of intuition, and also this lovely, it's like they put on these little pink glasses that everything looks prettier in, and people will look prettier with them. So that's a nice thing. You can see my picture now. Anyway, Pluto is traveling in your 5th house, and it is direct. It has been on top of your North Node. When it goes retrograde again, it will conjoin your North Node again, and that could be your connection to someone that has to do with your future. And I'm not sure when exactly that would be, but I'm curious to look at that. And I don't want to go ahead too far, but I just want to see if invariably Pluto goes retrograde quite often. And here it is in the retro. So let's see if it goes all the way back. It does not. Okay, so it's not going to do that. So let's see what else is going on. We do have, right now, you have something that is absolutely fantastic. Your progressed moon is in the 9th house, and it is conjunct your Venus, your natal Venus, both in Taurus, and both at the master number of 22 degrees. So there are statements going on with that say something that you have been wishing for or desiring that has to do with what you value and may have to do with money or income is about to manifest. And it almost seems like it's someone from a foreign land or someone, some way that you're going to take a trip. Do you have any plans for a trip yet? Because
I'm going with a girlfriend to Vegas December 24th to the 29th.
Good.
We're just going to go and see a show and have some nice meals and walk around and go to different casinos and see the different things. And yeah.
Well, that progressed moon right now is in a beautiful sextile to your progressed Uranus. So the statement is out of the blue, something surprising, something unexpected, perhaps a little bit of money that will meet your wishes and dreams. Let me see. You also have, you have a quincunx action with your natal moon from that Uranus. So the activation with the moon progressed activates all of this. If we can just throw someone else into the mix, that would just be fantastic. You know what? And I am looking at the 2019, November 5th, 2019. I'm looking a year ahead. So this is likely the time where you're going to manifest that relationship that you're looking for. That's
good.
Pretty exciting. Jupiter rules your house of marriage partners, and this person appears to come right into your house, or you appear to be going to their house in a foreign country. So I'm not sure which way it will be. Jupiter can be foreign places, and it could be that you're connecting with them on the internet. In this day and age, we can go into someone's house through the internet. So I have to throw that in there because I can't eliminate that as possible. But that's a very, very exciting combination that's coming up for you. It's basically sometime between October and November of next year. But that is coming up, and it's also a time where, if you narrowed it down, which we don't really have the time right now to narrow it down in minutes, it's a time where you might actually win some money too, which would be kind of exciting, because you have hard aspects in your chart that, when they are activated, can bring you money. I don't know if you've seen that in your life.
I have,
probably have by now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is another one of those fantastic activations, which is coming up late October of next year.
Oh, so it's pretty much next year where a lot's going to be happening, huh?
Yes, it looks like next year is your key time, because at that point in time, Jupiter will be in that 24-degree zone of Sagittarius, or 22-degree zone, which is where we want it. It'll be conjunct your moon while it is quincunx your Venus, while your progressed moon is on top of Venus, while Uranus is also at 22. So you've got this yod, which we call the finger of God in astrology, activated by Jupiter, and Venus rules your house of money. Jupiter is known to expand anything it touches, and Uranus brings in windfalls and sudden unexpected events. So the combination with hard aspect can be a gambler's gift. So,
oh, good.
Yeah, I would, I don't ever tell people go out and put big money on anything. That's not who I am. We work too hard for our money, and the last thing I want to see is anybody lose any. But, let your intuition guide you. Put aside some money this year. Say, I'm going to, take out a few lottery tickets over the month of the end of October next year. Maybe put aside $10, whatever you think. I just never recommend a lot of money. I figure $10 is my limit, or maybe $12. I might go $12.
I won $10,000 on a scratcher. A $5
well, there you go.
scratcher.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking,
I won a BMW car in a raffle.
Yeah, you got that kind of chart. So, I have people asking me, I want to win. Where is it in my chart? And some of them I just have to say, well, your chart just doesn't have it. I can't make it happen. But you have that kind of chart. And that's, other people might say, well, isn't that great? I want one of those. But it also is a chart that's challenging. That's not without challenges, because it's the hard aspects that create the windfalls. So,
right.
So I know your life is no piece of cake. So if everybody's listening, thinks it's the best thing on the planet, it isn't. It comes with responsibilities. But next year, I'd say from mid October to the end of October, right in that couple of weeks there, I'd consider pulling a lottery ticket every day, or whatever your intuition says.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And keep us posted. I love to hear the results.
Thank you. Thank you, Michele. Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, Karen, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'll let you know what happens. Thank you.
Okay, doke. Bye. Can you imagine winning a BMW?
I'd like to imagine it, but it's like I won a piece of luggage when I was a kid in a contest. I didn't even I entered at the last minute because people said we need one more player, and I happened to be there at the playground at the time, and so I entered
I won $20 on a scratch off ticket. Went back in and bought another ticket, and then lost it. So
you're not supposed to do that. Didn't anybody tell you?
I know. No.
Always said you only spend the money that you originally spent, not another $20.
I thought I was on a run. It was a very short run. It was a one-ticket run.
I'm
okay.
Okay,
go ahead.
We'll talk gambling another day. We should do a show on it. It's a lot of fun to talk about.
We should. Okay, we've got 239-940. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Diana.
Hi, Diana.
54. Hi.
What's your date of birth? I can't hear everything you're saying.
5754. You guys were cute, laughing at the same time.
Okay. 5. What was the day of the month?
57. 57.
Okay.
7. 54.
Okay. 5. So May 7th, 1954, and what time?
1:51 p.m.
1:51 p.m. and location?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yes. I'm not spelling things really well today. Indiana.
Pretty hungry in there. It's been a long time, though.
There it is. Well, it's a big word to spell, Indianapolis, and I should have it in my brain easily, but tonight it's, my brain connects in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's on another planet, and we have to go out and see if we can find it. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's get that on there. I need a third hand. If only I was a Wokey, it would be great.
Yeah.
It'd be great in the kitchen, too. Boy, there are many times I need a third hand when I'm baking. Okay, we've got your chart up. What am I focusing on?
Well, is there whatever's good?
I love this attitude. Okay, let me find something good in here. Oh, my. You have Pluto going through the 5th house, and as much as a lot of people don't like Pluto wherever it travels, I like it when it goes through the 5th house, because when it comes out the other side, you have transformed in a way that the things that you consider hobbies or the things that you really love or the things that you've been investing in, you transform in a way that you start to make them your method of income. So that, to me, is always exciting, and I've experienced that. So that's
when's it coming out?
Oh, well, it'll be years. It'll be another, 6-7 years before it actually gets out the other side.
After I'm 75?
Hey, we transformed. Hey, 75 is the new 55, so don't
okay. I like that. Well, 65 hasn't been very easy yet.
Yeah, well, I understand. I think when we hit 65, what happens is we start to really realize that our brains are still operating at the age of 30, but our bodies don't seem to be keeping up the way they should be. So you have Saturn right now on top of Mars, so you need to pay attention to your energy levels. Saturn can kind of depress your energy or depress you. And so whenever I see Saturn active like that, and it will be off of that here shortly, not too long, I want to say another month, yes. In a month's time it will be gone. But while it's on there, especially these next couple of weeks, treat yourself nice. Do nice things.
In what house?
Huh?
What house is Saturn on Mars?
In the 4th house, the house of your emotions and your home of residence. Okay? Yeah, and usually that means that, Saturn's been going through that house for the last couple of years. It didn't allow you to move around as freely as you might have wanted to. You felt rooted down. But it's finally going to move out in the next month, so that'll be exciting. That's a nice thing. You won't be feeling so down in the mouth anymore. Because, Saturn's there, our sense of optimism, even us who are eternal optimists, can have a challenge sometimes. And but once it's out, you've probably been experiencing that. That's not.
I still try to say that, and I've won a lot of big time fortune. I'm where it's going to be snowing soon. I want to get going, and I need a vehicle.
You are breaking up so bad, I'm not sure what you said, but I hope maybe Barbara got it. I don't know. I missed it all.
No, she broke up on my end, too.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I hate when that happens because
Talk radio.
Well, let's see what else is going on in your chart. Where do we have, what's Jupiter doing for you? Well, Jupiter is just getting ready to move into this house, so that's good. So there's a whole new energy level that's coming to you emotionally. It opens up. It gives you a sense of freedom. It's going to make you think about maybe taking trips or traveling, or maybe just expanding your home, or maybe adding more audio-visual equipment, or maybe a bigger television or a bigger monitor or something. That's all coming up. It's right around the corner as Jupiter comes into the house. So in the next couple of weeks, it'll be there. And that's exciting. As it does that, it's also making a kind of activity to your midheaven. So if there's anything that you want to do in terms of expanding your ability in whatever you call your career today. And career is an interesting word. Spirit does not see career as the way you make money. Spirit sees career as the way you are on this planet. Who are you here? Some people are people who are here giving service to others, and they do it simply by being there. Other people may be doing something completely different. Their energy might be going into family, or their energy might be going into art or some other venture. But it's not anything about making money. That is not the way Spirit sees it. But you have a whole new sense of experience or expansion, not experience, but expansion in that area. So that's coming up, and that's here.
You're
you do
skipping
have
out now, too.
What?
You're skipping out, too. We must not have a good connection here.
It's
I got you.
It's got to be your phone, because mine is a landline. We don't fly around on mine. I am so old-fashioned. I don't have a dial-up, though. I will tell you that.
Oh, yeah, I remember dial-up.
Yeah, no, we don't have a dial-up. I'm not that bad.
So I might get out of here before it snows?
Oh, are you somewhere where it's going to snow? I'm not anywhere where it's...
Yeah, I want to get out of Indianapolis before it snows. I want to head back to Florida, if at all possible.
But that fits, Saturn getting out of that house. December 5th, Saturn's already in the next house. So let's take a look how soon. Let me go back and I'll just identify exactly how soon it is. It moves into that house on the second day of December. So I would plan to travel out at a point in time if you don't travel right before that, because being at the very tail of the house, it's possible, especially with Jupiter coming into that house, that you could even move sooner. So head out.
I have to get a vehicle.
Well, I don't know. There's lots of ways to get to where you're going without a vehicle. So
no, not when it's cold. Not when you're old and when it's cold.
Well, yeah, you could still. There are trains and buses and
buses and trains. Okay, I'll just take a train vacation then.
Try a different means. We don't have to have our own car, but when we get going, we need to be in a place where we can walk to where we want to go. So, or get a car there. So
that's a good idea. There is a train station in Sebring, Florida.
I know that Amtrak runs all along the East Coast. Where I live, it doesn't run, but it does run. It runs right through here, but we can't get to it. It doesn't stop for us. I have to go an hour. I got to drive an hour to get to where the train might stop. So that's life.
I don't even know where one is, but I'm sure Indianapolis has a train.
Yes, I know it does. Because the one that I was looking for that goes across the country goes through Indianapolis. So I know it has one. All right. Anything else I need to look at?
Well, I just want to get unstuck, get moving, expanding.
I think you're in the process of doing it with this change that's coming in, so you have a whole new
For my
energy.
last hurrah.
Well, let's not make it your last.
No.
75 is the new 55. You got at least another 20 years. So, also, you know, your moon right now is in 24. Your progressed moon is at 24 Scorpio. So, in 6 months' time, less than 6, it's actually 5.5 months. It will go into Sag, and when it does, a whole sense of freedom. You will have a whole new. You'll feel like you've got a whole new life coming in. So that's very exciting. This
Thank you.
Yeah, so I know you're moving in the right direction, and it's going to be better for you. It's not without challenges. Nobody has it without challenges. Right now, your challenges are probably the most severe in that progressed moon is in a quincunx to Jupiter, and that's why you said you feel like you're stuck. It's a stressful space where mentally you're going back and forth. I want to go, I can't go. I want to go, I can't go. And you'll soon get free of that. But I'd say go ahead and take advantage of it before the moon even moves. Otherwise, it'll be 6 months that you'll wait, and there's no reason to do it. Once
You know
Saturn,
what? That book, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. That's a train.
That's right. And that's all you have to do. Just get on that train.
All right. I'll let you know.
Okay, Diana.
Take
Thanks
care,
so much for
Diana.
calling.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Unbelievable. All righty, we've got. Ginny had to take care of something, so I'm going to have to call out numbers here. We've got 812573. You're on the air.
Hi, my name is Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi. My first time calling. I guess I'll give you guys my birth date.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, it's July 23rd, 1984.
July 23rd, 1984. And the time of birth?
3:30 a.m.
3:30 a.m. And location?
Essex, ESSEX, Baltimore, Maryland.
Essex, Maryland?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go take a look. Let's see if it gives me that. Yes, it did. So Essex actually is a little city. That's a suburb of Maryland, huh?
Yeah, it's out little like it's part of Baltimore, though.
I said a little city, and that's hysterical because I'm sure it's not little. I don't think anything in that area is little. Where I live, it's little. Actually, where I live now is a whole lot bigger than where I lived before. I went from 3,100 to 22,000 people, so I really jumped. Okay,
right, same here.
Where do you live now?
I live in Indiana. I live in a place called Boonville, Indiana. It's about half an hour away from Evansville, Indiana. So it's very small.
Yeah, it's a small town. Okay, so what are we looking at for you, Nicole?
Anything. Like if anything you could pick up. I'm just interested in anything.
Okay, well, you know what you have happening right here is Jupiter has been traveling through your 6th house. That's the house of health. It's also the house of the workplace. And it's also the house where we serve others. So Jupiter has been traveling through there, and as it is applying right now to your south node, and as it goes into Sagittarius, it will be right on your south node and will stay there for a couple of days. At any rate, the south node is your past life experiences and talents and challenges and karma and all of that you carry around with you. And, of course, it is directly connected to your north node, which is in your 12th house. And your north node is in Gemini, where your south node is in Sagittarius. So it's saying that in past lives, you're going to expand now on the options of past lives and on the talents that you have from past lives. So what kind of talents? You probably are a person who was a teacher, maybe a missionary, maybe someone who taught religious information. You could have been a person who also taught people who serve in some way. And I don't know, religion seems to be the key statement here, or missionary. The North Node is in Gemini and in the 12th house, so you're saying here that in this life you're going to see things in a grander perspective or a wider perspective. You're not going to limit yourself in your ideas, but rather expand all those ideas. And by doing that, you intend to expand the way that you connect with people who you experienced in those past lives, where you may have considered what you were doing as expanding their ideas, but it's not near the expansion you can do in this lifetime. Does that make sense to you, what I've just said?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, it's kind of fascinating. And so that's activating as we speak. Now, having Jupiter, of course, go through this house, as it goes into Sagittarius, it's interesting. It's also, as it conjoins the South Node, it's also making a square to your midheaven. So it may be challenging you in terms of what you consider your career to be. It may be challenging you to expand on whatever theme your career is. So this is also interesting. You were born with Jupiter at 5 degrees of Capricorn, and so it is perfectly aligned with your midheaven. So you're a person who in this lifetime may find yourself being, rather than a teacher, being a person who may be more like the principal or someone who is in more of a corporate structure of some kind. But you may be, whatever it is that you do, rather than being out front, you're a person who would be behind the scenes. You're not someone who really wants to be out in front of everybody. And that's kind of funny when I say that, because, you know, you're born with your sun in Leo. Your sun is in the house of money and also values, and that's a great place to stick the sun, because and I say it that way because I believe that you as soul chose where everything went in this chart. But having your sun in the second house usually gives you success in terms of money. But the fact that it is in a quincunx action to your midheaven, that isn't necessarily the case. We'd like it to be. It's like when you have it, it's great. And you're absolutely excellent at spending it, which you might have to pull back on sometimes. But it actually causes stress because you don't always have it. So, but as it goes into Sag, it's going to activate that sun, and as it does, you have this opportunity to expand your income. So you may be offered some kind of expansion in terms of your that you will have to question whether you really want to do it or not.
Right.
And really it's going to be up to you. I always say take the step unless the step goes against something that is really important to you. So that's how you kind of have to look at it. Right now Saturn is traveling through your 7th house, and so and it's been on your Jupiter. So really, whatever the offer is, it will be something that will be long-term and very stable for you. So it looks like it's good, but then it may bring a side effect where it may cause some responsibilities in terms of your relationship that depress your relationship or create it as more difficult. And I don't know if you have a marriage or not, because I haven't really looked at that. You're still, to me, very young, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm old. That doesn't mean a thing. So, but anyway, if you're not married at this time, I'd say do not, even if someone has proposed to you, marry until Saturn is out of this house. Because Saturn, if we marry under that, we usually end up marrying into a place of responsibility that does not bring joy. And you were born with wonderful Jupiter in the 7th house with Neptune there. You're a person who should have a joyful, expansive marriage. Your marriage should be something that makes you really happy. It's a gift to you, and a stabilizing gift, which I think is interesting. Hope this has made sense to you.
Yes, it does. But back to the marriage thing, I was married. I just got divorced. Is there any way we can look at his chart too, or I have it in my mind also.
Not in this segment when we have so many people on the line.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying. I mean, like I said, I was married to him. I was seeing like if there's any way he's coming back or whatever.
Yeah, well, those things do happen where people do come back, and you can almost be guaranteed that activation of your natal chart will take place, and it'll come back almost invariably during a retrograde. If you got divorced at the time of a retrograde, and you may have gotten divorced recently because Saturn, when it goes over that 7th house cusp, a lot of the time creates, if the relationship is not really stable, Saturn can disrupt it and cause people to divorce and break up. Because what happens is whoever's chart it is where Saturn goes over the 7th house cusp will start to feel like there is all this responsibility and there's no joy. It's not fun anymore. And so if you don't have other really good qualities between your charts, then the whole thing can fall apart. That's why, having an astrologer work with you in relationships can be such a benefit because you're able to understand better what is really going on between you. My husband's chart and my chart, very similar, and yet what we bring into our lives is someone who also activates our challenges. And so what happens is when they activate our challenges, a lot of the time we may find ourselves blaming them for the problem, but it's not their problem, it's our problem. What they're doing is exacerbating it so we can see it. And an astrologer, being someone who is completely outside of your relationship, can actually point it out, and people are going, oh, yeah, that's true. and it's so helpful because then you can see what areas you have that are really whole and that are important to keep and how you can work with those other rough edges. And if you learn a little bit about astrology, then you can watch when those rough edges get activated, and you can know that's a transit. You can know it. You work with each other during those times, and it deepens your intimacy instead of breaking you up. So.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we it wasn't long ago when we got divorced. We got divorced in February of 2018, but we separated at the end of February 2016.
Yeah. No, I can see where that would be, because I can see the transits in here. So, and you actually, when you first had that activation, it was probably Uranus, because when Saturn hit Uranus, you started to have problems. So.
Yep.
Yeah. But the key is to grow from where you are. And bless
I have to.
People around you, and know that if that separation is one where you have to go off on your own to learn and then come back together, that's great. Or if you have to go off on your own in order to realize that you are more than you thought you were. A lot of the time we think we're less, and when we go out on our own, we discover that we're more, and then we attract into our world that person who sees all of that more that we are, thus enhancing it. And so we fall in love again with someone who is got a broader perspective of us than the last person we were with. So.
Exactly.
Sounds
good. All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. We've got Tasha. Hi, Tasha. You're on the air.
Hi. My name is Tasha, and my birthday is 6/22/1975, and my time was 10:33 a.m., and I'm from California.
California's a big place. Where in California?
Oakland.
Okay. And did you say 10:33 a.m., Tasha?
Yes.
Okay. Oakland. I know where Oakland is. I have a cousin who lives in Emeryville. Okie dokie. Let's see here. All right. So, what am I concerned with here, or what should I be looking at?
Whatever you see that I need to know.
Okie dokie. Let's see here.
Jupiter has gone, well, Jupiter today is smack dab on top of your North Node. So it's trying to make sure that you expand emotionally to start to actually move in the direction that you as soul determined you would achieve in this life. And that has to do with understanding things that are not necessarily seen, understanding the depth of emotions, understanding the biological connection between your mom and perhaps your ancestors, a whole lineage of women here. It's understanding where power really is and how emotions can be controlled or manipulated, and how we need to learn to go beyond any of that, whether it's us doing it or because unconsciously we do lots of things. We need to become conscious or becoming conscious of what other people are doing, and ways that your mom actually may have manipulated your dad or manipulated you or any of your siblings. There's a whole level of bringing that up from the depths, and you've been probably kind of working with some of that coming up over the last week or so. At any rate, that's quite an important statement going on in there, because your goal as soul is to come to an understanding of how to express your emotions in a way that maintains controlled power and a certain degree of silence, but at the same time to do it in a way that is both kind and not manipulating. So that's a huge statement. Jupiter will move forward, and it's going to move rapidly this year, but then it'll go back. So I would say probably by April or so you may find yourself either expanding the home you're living in, or maybe even investing in a different property. It could even be a vacation home, and it would not surprise me. So that's kind of exciting. You have, see what else? Activation of the midheaven is 23, so Jupiter's been kind of struggling with that. But at this point in time, Jupiter gets to go into Sag, and when it does, it will no longer be that kind of struggle. That will have ended. As it hits the 6-degree point, it's going to activate your Pluto in a very positive way, so there is a certain amount of empowerment coming through, and it's an empowerment as a result of these things that we just talked about coming to the surface within you. It's a statement of you empowering yourself in terms of what you value in life, and transform the way you value relationships. And this can be the relationship with your mother, relationship with your property, a relationship with yourself, and coming to a new a transformation of your emotions. And it's also a transformation of the way you value money and the way you spend money. So all of that comes into play here very shortly. So that's happening, and should not be overlooked. Let's see what else is going on. You've had Saturn is in your 5th, and here it's only at 5 degrees, and it is through our 5th house. Finding a relationship, if you're looking for one, isn't necessarily working very well for you. And it's actually challenging right now because it's applying a square to that Pluto, and so it's not really giving you a whole lot of room. You're about to experience an opposition, so you're coming into the opposition, Saturn opposing Saturn. So the issues regarding your dad and your childhood may come back to the table, and what your dad dreamt of and what you have inherited in terms of dreams from him may come back to the table, and it'll be a period of time where you are working on bringing that into balance so that it becomes more of what you want and no longer a subconscious directive from your father. Kind of interesting. We go through all kinds of things in life, but that's coming up. Yeah, we don't always realize, what we pick up, especially young women and young men, both of us. We really admire our parents even when we shouldn't. because they're not always admirable. But we admire them to a point where we subconsciously say, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to be that, and we subconsciously buy into things that are important to them or that they have made important to them. And we have to at some point realize that's really not my stuff. And then try to find out what is my stuff. So it's interesting. Fortunately, nobody is all good or all bad, and so we pick up all kinds of things from our parents. Some of them very, very good. And I don't.
So when does the church see me being in a serious relationship?
Well, you have the ability. Let's see. When will you be? I don't know that I can ever say that actually and be for certain. But I will say this: there is opportunity for you to fall in love and have a truly intimate connection coming up next year. So that is coming up when Jupiter makes a trine to Jupiter. Let's just go forward and let me just see what problems, if any, Saturn might be doing at that time. So here it is, trine. Actually, it's even earlier than a year from now because we've got your natal is earlier. 20 degrees. So sometime between October and November of next year, that doorway opens up. So I would certainly take advantage of, and that's also the time where Jupiter is conjoined your home. So this may be someone that you may be looking at a piece of property and find them. It would not surprise me. You might be looking at a home, or they might be coming to your home. It happens, and there is an opportunity for intimacy. There's an opportunity for a relationship, and that opportunity could commence into something even stronger, like a marriage, a little while after that. And I'm just going to go forward and give you an idea. And it could be fast. It is possible that you could end up falling in love with the person and marrying quickly, which, being old as I am, I don't recommend it. But we're all individual, and I'm not about to say it's wrong or otherwise. But once Jupiter gets to 28 degrees, which is November 24th of 2019, there is a possibility that you could marry. Or perhaps become engaged. You might just become engaged and not actually marry till after that. But that is certainly possible. You've got both Venus and Jupiter together at that point, quite literally together in the house of falling in love, while they are making a direct trine to your progressed Jupiter, which is key to falling in love, and it's in the house of legal experiences. This is usually when we're putting something on paper. Saturn is not actually activated directly, but the progressed moon is. And so Saturn, let's see, the progressed Saturn is 25. You've gotten over the hump of some issue at that point. So there is a struggle there, going back and forth. Should I marry? Shouldn't I marry? What would my mother do? What about our house? What about my house? What about his house? Or where are we going to live? Or something about houses is in there. So there is a stressful experience that happens just before this moment in time. So,
well, you can always call back in and get another reading when this happens.
Yeah. Okay. But that's coming up, and you just have to see. These things don't always pan out the way we see them, but it does definitely happen.
Okay.
We have to move on, Tasha, but thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you. All right.
You have a good night.
Bye.
All right, you too.
Okay, we've got Priscilla on the line. Hi, Priscilla, you're on the air.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Yes, my birth date is 9/6/65.
6/1965. And time of birth?
The time of birth is 10 a.m.
10 A.M. Place?
Yes, so it's a city in India. It's A-M-B-A-L-A.
A-M-B-A-L-A?
That's correct.
Let's see. Oh, lookup was successful. My computer liked it.
Good, that's good.
Good thing you spelled it for us. All right. So let's see now. What are we looking for? Anything in particular, Priscilla?
So you have the sun in Virgo, correct? I just want to confirm.
If we put that in properly, yes. Sun is 13 degrees, Virgo 22 minutes.
That's correct. Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking for, like, what you see in terms of expanding upon my career and work, when you see anything happening.
Well, the first thing I'm just going to say to you right now is there is Pluto. You're experiencing Pluto conjunct the moon, and that is not an easy experience. Pluto on top of your natal moon. Pluto is about transformation in your chart. It's about you physically, personally, you. And the moon is always about our emotions. It can be about our mother. It can be about an older woman in your case, or it could be about you feeling older. So there is a statement there, and this is all about your mindset because it's all in the house of the mind. It can also be about your mom, and so it can be communication coming in. The moon rules places far away, so your mom may still live far away. At any rate, there is this transformation, and that is not an easy combination. I expect you've been feeling it, and I don't know if your mom's asking you, would you come home? It would not surprise me, or you might be feeling pulled that way. Your mom is still alive, though, right?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, so with this combination, I would not, whatever you do to connect with her, I would keep doing it and do more of it because it's important during this time, just in case anything's going on in her chart, which I can't see. You know, Pluto on top of the moon can make the whole issue of getting old become really powerful. It seems like it empowers or overtakes one powerfully. And so stay in contact with your mom.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. So now you were looking at career, so I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
Look at what,
any
what
movement on that?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. So the sun is the ruler of your house of career, and your progressed sun is at 5 degrees Scorpio. Your midheaven is 6 degrees Leo. So it's in a challenging aspect. And a challenging aspect doesn't mean that you aren't getting anywhere. Usually it means that you might have to take an additional step to get to where you want to go. The sun being the ruler of that midheaven and being right on the angle, the progressed is right smack dab on your ascendant at this point in time. So it's basically, this is really about you and how do you feel about you, and the step that you have to take is to go beyond staying in the background and be willing to be seen. There's something here about the challenge of being seen, the challenge of being seen as powerful, the challenge of being seen as a person in control. These are questions that are on the table in this chart that are pressing you, and you need to come to an understanding that you have a right to be seen and that it is acceptable to be powerful even if you are a woman. You need to come, there's something going on there or this square wouldn't be here. The square, of course, will change over the years. You've got a year, actually 2 years before it gets to a point where you really start to feel, I'm good with this. I can handle this. It's good. Right now it is challenging. So, but in the sky today, as we're speaking, even though you can't see it because it's nighttime here, the sun is at 13 degrees of Scorpio, and you were born with the sun at 13 degrees of Virgo, and that is a sextile. So this is a period of time where there's more opportunity for you than other times. you have Mars natally backing that up, and you have Neptune working with Pluto natally to back that up, and Uranus.
But that's now, right? I'm thinking more next year because I don't see any movement happening between now and.
This is not like a doorway that's wide open. This is a doorway that you have to open.
Right.
You have.
I know.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying nothing's going to happen this year. I see it sort of like perhaps when I move, I see more action if I take a move and relocate. But at this point, I will say this before you come to that conclusion. I want to add something. Jupiter is getting ready to go into your second house. It's getting ready to make a trine to that midheaven. I would take advantage of this doorway because that will be a doorway. You don't have the doorway yet, okay? It's like step around the corner and see yourself as the person in control. See yourself as the person out there in a powerful position. You need to first do that visualization process to accept it and know it is not only possible, but you can do this. And then here the doorway comes as Jupiter goes into, I don't know why I'm not getting, come on, Charlie, move for me. There we go. Okay. As it moves into the Sagittarius, but actually it has to go just a little further as it comes right into this zone where it gets into your second house, which is November the 23rd. Now it's starting to apply to that midheaven, and that's a doorway. Okay, that's a doorway that doesn't come often, and it's on top of your south node as it's doing this. So it's not just a small doorway, it's a big doorway. Take advantage of it. Don't back down. Don't worry about moving. Don't worry about anything else. Take advantage of it. That doorway is open from November 23rd until, let's see here, until December 10th. So that's where you should be checking out applications, going and talking to people, go and investigate what is possible, and put in good words or resumes or whatever you need to put in, because this, what can manifest as a result of it, can be more money for you. Jupiter in the second house expands our income. So take advantage of it. And, by December 10th, Venus is on top of your sun, activating the progressed sun as it activates that midheaven. It's a challenge. The statement there is, how much do I love myself? Don't give the job away to someone else. Love yourself enough to take it. Do you see any lucky days?
Huh?
Do you see any lucky days for perhaps playing the lottery? like with that other woman.
Yeah, well, I wish I could give them to everyone. But I love you for asking, but I don't really have a lot to offer there. I'm sorry. You do have a sextile between Uranus and Jupiter at that time in December. Actually before that, the end of November. But that sextile by itself can't really produce. Maybe it produce a little something. Maybe you win $20. I don't know. But it's not a big producer. That's only one. It's not enough. We need more than that.
We need more than that.
Nice try,
exactly.
Though. Like I said, I'm not a nice try.
I thought I'd try.
Getting you to spend your money if I can't see enough out there.
No, that's okay. I just thought I'd ask, but okay.
Well, and really honor who you are. I don't know what your life story is. I mean, I haven't stood there and studied your chart to know enough of your life story, but I do know that you have all the strength and knowledge and intelligence to be the person in charge. If you choose it, and you have an opportunity to choose it. So
we got to move on, Michele.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Take care. Good fortune to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okie doke. We've got Jay on the phone. Hi, Jay.
Hey, Barbara. Thanks for taking my call.
Ah,
You bet.
our pleasure.
What's your date of birth, Jay? We'd love to get a little male energy in here.
Of course. Thank you. March 24th, 1964.
March 24th, 1964. Okie dokie. And time?
Yeah, 11:54 p.m.
11:54 p.m. And place?
Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada.
Hat, Canada. I always like the name of that. It's just such a nice town name. But is it big? It's a little town, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 60,000. So.
Oh, sugar tomato sauce. That's big to me. I thought it was a little town. That's not little. I live in a much littler town than that. Okay, so let's take a look and see what's going on in your world. What do you want us to kind of focus on, if anything, in particular?
Probably, I would say, just getting out of this year. It's been quite a year. I lost my mother and my best friend within 3 months. So I'm in grief counseling, and not grief counseling, but grief workshops and things like that. So, yeah.
My God, I'm so sorry. That's
thanks.
Such a challenge. You know, we can stand here and tell you they're standing right next to you, but you can't pick up the phone and call them, and it's just horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you'll get through it. We can't, unfortunately, keep anybody around as long as we want them. You know, Saturn is in your second house. It's on top of your south node, which means it's opposing your north node, and it's also making a trine to Uranus, and so it's a statement that this is a time where you kind of have to work hard, save your money, work hard on what your values are, and you'll be reflecting on what is truly important to you, and that's not unusual when people lose people they love. They do start to reflect on, you know, what is important, and having Saturn on top of the South Node tells us that in a past life you were very much a hard worker, and you may have worked more than spent time with your family, and so all of that is probably coming back to you at some deep subconscious level, and Saturn is pushing it, which doesn't make it any easier, but is trying to get it so that you recognize what you as soul came in with. Your purpose is under the sign of the North Node, which is at the opposite end of the South. And the North Node is, of course, at 6 degrees of Cancer, and it's in the 8th house. So it's telling us that, you know, you as soul made a promise to yourself that this lifetime would be one where you really focus on family, on sharing, on intimacy, on making connections that are really nurturing ones that are consistent, more importantly than on working and making money. So Saturn is bringing that all, pushing it like in your face, and so that's not making you feel any better. But hopefully, maybe, you know, you have made certain inroads in that area, and then you can look at it and say to Saturn, you know, I've been working on this. Take a look, see how much I've done. And so you can feel a little better about yourself. And that's important, because I can guarantee that whatever inroads you've made, whether they were small or whether they were big, they're better than the last lifetime. Okay? So you've made inroads, and you need to know that. But just try to be kind to yourself. We can never achieve all that we want to achieve, but as long as we're working it, you know, we're doing what we can do. The trine from Saturn to Uranus in the 9th house says there's a doorway that's opened in terms of concern over your values and your connections and your thought processes. And is your dad still around?
Yep, my dad is still around.
Yeah. So it's basically telling me that there's a doorway there where you may suddenly reconnect with your dad in ways that you haven't in the past. Something about the issues of criticism. It's time to get past issues of criticism. And your moon in Virgo tells me that you can be very good at criticizing yourself. And probably that is probably with this trine indicating that some of that may have come from your father, whether he meant for it to come from him or not. And I can see it definitely did, because there's a struggle between Saturn and the moon, a very exact kind of aspect. It's only 30-something minutes apart. And that's telling me that there was a struggle in terms of communicating, and you probably moved more towards the quiet side and said less because of that struggle of criticism. But this doorway is open now for you to work on healing that, and I would say, go forward with it. Whatever issues, sometimes dads can be super critical of their children because they think that that's a way to make them stronger. They have, they can have warped ideas.
Yeah.
But thinking they're doing the right thing, and when we grow up, we need to realize sometimes that that is the case, and to just love them for trying as hard as they could to be as good as they could. We have parents do the best they can with their state of consciousness, and children come in usually with advanced states of consciousness. So we're not on the same page. We try to be, but we're not. And we need to really be kind to each other and honor each other. I always say, it's important for the individual to go their own way, but when others are saying you should go this way or that, you need to be able to say to them, I love you and I know what you are saying is what you think is best for me, and I appreciate that, but I have to go my own way. And I think that's the kindest way we can do that. So Neptune is also active in your third house, and as it right now it's retrograde. It is going to go direct. What is it? November the 24th or something. I believe it's November the 24th. And when it goes direct, it will start to apply to your Chiron. So this is in the house of your communication, your thought forms, how you're thinking, and Chiron is about where we are most wounded, and as a result of the wound, we will heal ourselves and then be able to offer that healing to others. So with Neptune coming on there, it says that you will intuitively start to pick up on what these issues are from your past. And having Chiron in Pisces in the third house is indicative to me that you clammed up. You're very good at shutting down instead of speaking up, even though you have Aquarius on this cusp, which means you should really be like the talker of all time, and probably under the right aspect or with the right part of chat with friends you are. But your father shut you down from what I can see, and Chiron is telling you it's time for you to stop sabotaging yourself and start thinking outside the box. Go beyond, and that's what Aquarius does. It thinks outside the box. It's time for you to come out of the closet and be who you are. That's the statement. So I hope you'll listen to that. I know we'll probably have to get to another person, but please take good care of yourself and be kind to yourself, and know that we never really, no matter how it looks, we go from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, and we tend to travel with our tribe. And we have tribes at every level. The most intimate ones, and they go out and out and out. You're part of my tribe because you're here on the phone with me today, and I wish I could give you a big hug. So you have to catch it on the inner. It's there for you.
I'm grateful. Thank you.
It's also, Jay, a time for you to reinvent yourself. And it's amazing because there are periods of time in our life when we actually can reinvent ourselves and change our perspective, change the way people see us, change the way we see our reality. And by doing that, you don't ignore those building blocks that have helped you get to this point, but you sort of appreciate them because they give you something to step forward from. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you, Michele. Thank you, Barbara, for this great information.
And just know, in like 2 years' time, 2 years and a few days, your progressed sun is going into the next sign, which is Gemini. And when it does, it's going to start to move right into your 7th house. It's going to bring you a lot of success and a much brighter and more fun-filled outlook when it comes to relationships. So it's a good thing.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Yeah, love you both. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got Maria here. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Maria. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yes, fine. Thank you. I got a question. I'm going to be traveling, me and my daughter. So you can see I'm going to be good about finance. As my daughter wait for somebody to call her for work, they're going to be calling this time. I'll be away.
I can't do much without your birthday or your daughter's. I'm not sure which one you want.
Yeah.
If you want to give your daughter's, I'll talk about her, whatever you choose.
Yeah, my birthday is May 15 and 1942.
May 15th, 1942.
1942. My daughter, she's 75, 26 in June.
I can't do your daughter at the same time. I can only do one chart at a time. Unfortunately, I don't have other capability. What time were you born, Maria?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Well, that's going to really hamper.
There was an effort to know. I don't remember where I got a life.
Where were you born?
In Italy.
I got the accent, but I don't know the city.
No, the city is Termini Merese, Provincia Palermo.
I didn't quite catch you.
Termini Merese. Termini Merese.
Okay, spell it for me.
Termini. T-I-E-R-N-A. Termini.
Did you understand it, Barbara?
No. Maria, is your daughter there?
Just a minute.
Is your daughter with you?
Yeah, just a second, please. Daddy.
Yeah, I'm not understanding the city. I know a lot of cities in Italy, but I don't know them all by any means.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. It's in Sicily that she's going to.
Okay. You know can you spell the name of the city in Sicily?
Termini, I believe.
Okay, that's like what she was saying. Yeah. So let me see if that works.
Yes,
okay.
Termini.
N-I. Well, okay. Sicily. No, it's Termin. I think there's an extra I in there. Okay, whatever. I've got it. I know it's right. This is the one in Sicily, and that's all that matters. Okay. Let me go again.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, I want to do what I can for you, and I want it to be right. Don't want to tell you it's not there. Because I don't know the time of your birth, it kind of hampers me with timing. So what is it that you wanted to focus on? Let me see if I see what's going on here.
I'm going to be okay financially. The people are going to treat it good to me and my daughter. Because it's a long time I don't go there.
Oh, you're thinking you want to go to Sicily to go see your daughter? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm going to go with my daughter now in December.
You're going in December?
She's going to go in December.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's travel is ninth house, but I don't know what your ninth house is. Jupiter in your chart, Jupiter always rules travel. Let's see at distances. Let's see how it's 25 Gemini. So, it's going to be basically supporting Jupiter come December, if you're talking about December. I'm going to move this forward to December and see if I can help me just make sure that I can identify what exactly might be taking place. So Jupiter at that point in time begins at least to give some kind of support. It does especially, okay. But this is not a trip that's just, there could be some stress going on there, it looks like. But you also have something very positive, though, that's also happening. So the statement is there's an opportunity here to transform in some way. Unfortunately, I'm so limited because I don't have your wheel. I can't really bear down onto how you're transforming, except that this trip can empower you and help you transform. And it looks like it will be very successful. It will make you very happy because of a beautiful trine to your progressed sun, and that's a lovely statement. So I think this is a very good thing that you're doing. So is there a question about this trip that you want to ask me?
Yeah, it's going to be okay about finance.
Is it going to be okay if you're flying? Is that the question?
No, the finance, about money are going to be okay over there.
Money. Okay. Again, I don't have your second house, so I'm going to have to go in a kind of a limited way and answer that. The fact that Jupiter is trine the sun, that is almost invariably a statement of success. And usually people can afford whatever they're doing when we have that trine. So I'm going to stick my head out on a limb and say yes, except that Jupiter is also in a quincunx action to your progressed Venus. So it is not without some stress, and you're having to probably pull a little to do this. And Jupiter is also opposing Saturn, so you may have to pull into your savings with this combination. But the trip will be a success, so I would say, whatever you have to do to manifest it, I would go. Because, we only get so many chances to take these big trips at different times, and I think this is an important trip for you. To just explain to you how often Jupiter will be making a trine to your sun. The next time it will do this is, what is it? It's 8 years from now.
Yeah.
So
do you still have family there, Maria?
I got a relative close in it.
Okay. It feels to me as though it's very important that you reconnect with your relatives that are there. That it's going to mean a lot, not only to you, but to them as well. And it feels as though I keep seeing that there are friendships here that are, you're going to reconnect with some people that you haven't been in contact with for a very long time. It's going to be a wonderful experience for you. But I agree with Michele. You're going to have to dip into your money just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a monetary challenge. Saturn is also.
I'm going to have a difficult time with the money.
It's a challenge for money, but you should do it because this is a good thing. Your opportunity to do this is under this particular combination is rare, and it will be a very positive experience. But you just have to. Yeah. I would ask if you have any family who will be willing to help you pay for this trip. I would ask them, and I know that's not easy. My mom would tell.
No.
I know. Like my mom, I know.
No, they don't do that. No, I never
Well, I hope your daughter's listening because I'd say if you have a sister and you guys should chip in a little bit because Mom, this is an important trip, but it is going to be expensive and it's not easy. So.
I'm not getting no sister. My sister died over here. No.
Oh my God! I am so sorry. Oh my God!
You can be my daughter. My husband passed away 6 years ago. So I'm not go there till 18 years. So I'm going to go, me and my daughter. And I know my daughter doesn't work.
You
so
need to. It's a good trip. It's just going to cost some money. So if you have some things that maybe you don't use anymore that you can sell a few things. Maybe you can sell some things and raise a little bit of money through stuff. And it's worth, you know.
Excuse me. So say something about my daughter. The boy, then my daughter. You can see my daughter, somebody going to call her for work.
I can't tell that from your chart because your chart I don't really have time for. I don't have the time. Without the time for me to go in and try to identify your daughter in your chart, I can't do it, not with any precision. You can ask that question of Barbara psychically and see what she comes up.
No, I would say have your daughter call the first Monday in December, and Michele will be able to read her then.
I'm going to go Monday, 1st of December. I'm going to be in Venezia. I'm going to go the 2nd. Yeah, I'm going to be away. Well, thank you very, very much. It was a real pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for
You're
calling.
You're very welcome. Take good care. Be safe. Be blessed.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Geez, you know, one of us should learn how to speak Italian.
Hey, I know it's on me. It's on me. I can understand Italian, but she was going to speak with a Sicilian accent. I don't understand Sicilian accents.
My
sister-in-law is Sicilian. She could listen and talk it. She's not here. She's in Massachusetts, in Rhode Island. Sorry.
Okay. One of them other cities. No, I could hear what she wanted, but it was very hard to make sure that I was hearing what I thought I was hearing.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was an Italian accent. I have a family that is Italian, obviously, but and my brother speaks fluent Italian. He teaches at a university in Italy. So, but I don't. And plus the Sicilian accent. If you don't know anything about the accents in Italy, take my word for it. They can be unique.
Oh, geez. Well, we have just a couple minutes, and first I want to say, for those who are still waiting, that please call in next month and call in earlier, and we will be happy to take your call. Second, I want to say that, like I did at the beginning of the show, tomorrow is your chance to make your voice count, to make your voice heard. Please, whatever you do, and I don't care if you're Republican, a Democrat, Independent, Communist, I don't care what party I don't care what party you belong to. Just make your voice heard. Get out there and vote, because it's important for the country. I mean, we all have a vote for a reason, and if you throw away your vote, that's like voting against everybody else. So now that said, Michele, you have to have looked at the USA and at the election. What are your predictions?
What are my thoughts on that?
Not your thoughts. Your prediction.
Yeah, well, there's, I've looked at it, and all I can say is what's really happening is we are at a point in time. Jupiter is at 29 degrees, considered a critical degree in astrology, and it's in Scorpio, and we've had it traveling for a year through Scorpio. It comes out 2 days after the election. On election day, it's 29 degrees. So what it has been doing for a year is digging up every single thing that has been hidden from the public's view. Every scandal, every issue of money, every issue of corruption, all of them, all this stuff has been coming up. The sex, corruption, taxes, you name it, it's all been dug up. And as it comes to the election, here it is at the 29 degrees, while Uranus is exactly opposite.
sitting there at 0 degrees. Actually, it's at 29 degrees tomorrow of Taurus. So you have this polarized action taking place in this country. Uranus says we need to break free and come free of all of this that we have been examining and looking at. We are at a point in time where we have to find, who are we? Uranus is the ruler of the sun of the United States chart. Our chart is born with moon in Aquarius. We are a nation that desires freedom, that embraces freedom. Uranus stands for freedom. And it's freedom to be comfortable and secure in that freedom when you have it in Taurus. So that opposition says we must confront corruption. The fact that Jupiter will move into Sag 2 days later says that it has gone through digging it up. Now it is time to legally process it. Jupiter in Sagittarius goes into legal action. So as best as I can assess it, I would say that a lot of people will come out to vote, that they will voice their opinions, that the vote is a struggle, and I don't know what the outcome is. I cannot identify it from everything here as much as I'd like to say I know exactly how it's turning out.
I don't either. That's the way I was asking. All I can see is a coin being flipped in the air, and it's like at this moment in time, nothing has been predetermined. It all hinges on the action that everybody takes tomorrow.
Exactly.
So,
but the fact that is going into Sag gives me a tremendous hope that the country will come together to say we must remove corruption from our government so that people can truly be supported. Our voices can be heard. You can't be heard if there's corruption. So
no, that's true. But also I want to repeat another thing I said at the beginning of the show. If you don't vote, if you don't put your voice out there, you have absolutely no right to complain.
Yeah.
So understand that you can't complain for the next 2 years. So go home so you can complain.
Yes. Well,
I mean it's going to be amazing.
Vote.
But yes,
vote
please.
Your heart tells you. Vote what your heart tells you, not what the voice bites that you've heard. We call them voice bites, right?
Make up your own mind. Make up, consult your own heart, your own value system, your own moral values, and cast your vote. Put it out there. Let your voice be heard. Michele, thank you so much. This has been a great show. It always is when you're here. So I so appreciate your being with us.
Always an honor to be with you, Barbara.